fix that crap put at the bottom of the screen. Nice. Ugh. Just wait for that to orientate itself. I don't have to push something, do I? I don't think so. There we go. Why does it say there's no one viewing? Huh, that's weird. What's your name again? Hey, Tsukushima. That's your name. Wow, that took way too long. So, hello, Wendigo Studios? Wendigo? I don't know. Like it says in the title, it's just a chatting stream. I'm just bored this morning, so I just want to chat with you guys, regarding some stuff because the channel has been kind of dry of content. It's not as active as it used to be, but gotta realize, guys, I'm not getting old per se, but I am not young anymore per se anyway. Like I'm not who I was when I started at 16. How old was I when I started this channel? That was a long time ago. I was 20, 21-ish. 8 years ago was 21. I was 21 years old. Yeah, I'm not who I was when I was 20. What? 21. Fuck in the ass. Anyways, so yeah, I can't create content as much as I used to because it's gotten to a point where it takes a lot more than it used to back in those days. It used to be just a simple narration track, background music, editing, simple, call it good. That was literally it. Yeah, this is on the phone, by the way. I don't have a really good streaming setup, so you guys just gotta deal with it. It does have a 4K camera, so it should be good. 4K? Yeah, 4K camera. Anyways, how's everyone doing this morning? Yeah, it's almost afternoon, pretty much. This almost afternoon, I guess. I'm tired because, yeah, my sleeping schedule has been playing with me lately. I woke up around. I've been waking up around like 3 to 5-ish in the morning. If you guys don't know, my wake up time is normally around 5 o'clock, or not 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock. College was something. It's not showing things. I never went to college. Like I said, all the stuff that I do on YouTube was self-taught. Either my morning was basically ruined, but college definitely brightened it. Oh, that's nice. That's nice to know, because usually college isn't good. School is usually miserable. If what I've heard in the past, people say that college is like a mixed bag. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's horrible, sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that. But I just want to show you guys, I'm not dead. I'm not dead on making content. I am still making content. Like I said, RTBA is still in the works. It's just a matter of getting everybody on the project, to do everything. And we're also recovering from the holidays, so I'm giving my people, the break that they deserve because they're working their asses off. So yeah, it's not as simple as if I just do the project myself. That's why I can get the Genshin one out as fast as I want to. Oh, speaking of that, if you've seen on Twitter or the most recent post, yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. I did manage to finish probably the biggest chapter. Well, I wouldn't say the biggest chapter, but the second biggest chapter the other day. It was a chapter I had to take my time with because I had to make sure it was what it needed to be, basically. But I am still working on shit. I am still alive, and I am still very much not going anywhere. Hopefully. Not only that, my parents have been sick because it all started when my niece was staying the night over here, and she woke up around 3 o'clock with an upset belly, and she was throwing up. Ever since, it's just kind of been a culmination, and I think it's a like a stomach bug because it's been like it's it like shows up very early and doesn't show its ugly face until like 4 days after you actually get it. Luckily, I've avoided it. Like I said, I'm epileptic, so I've been using this as much as possible. Whenever I go out of my room, whenever I come back into my room, whenever I go to the bathroom, I always soak my hands. Because epileptics can't really afford to get the flu because it's kind of potentially fatal. There's the heater. But yeah, I do want to get back on the mic, but I have to finish what I need to first. As for pony content, the most pony thing that I can think of right now that I have like an idea, not an idea, like a goal to potentially get back to is the process of elimination. 3 new chapters are written. Just waiting for one more. That's all I'm waiting for, guys. Like I said, that one I'm just allowing the author to take his time. He, she. I'm just allowing them to take their time and letting them do what they need to do because it's a fantastic story and I want them to, I want them to do their thing. Not only that, Reborn kicked my ass. It completely and utterly kicked my ass. Because Reborn was big. I've also been experimenting with things like making the music because I was really proud of myself for what I put into Reborn. Like the tracks in the let me think. The last 2 chapters, Spectrum's End and the one after that. Yes, the last 2 chapters. Those were all composed by me. Not composed, but made, pretty much. Technically the same exact deal. So I've just been like messing around with things, coming up with new ideas, writing things. Like I've still got YouTube on my mind. It's just a matter of getting what I need to do set up first. Like I said, I can't do work if I don't have what I need first. But all of the scripts for the next parts of RTBAA are they're highlighted. It's just up to the people to get their stuff done. But I'm allowing them, a holiday break. We're getting back to work on it probably. What's today? Today's the 8th. Probably within the next few days. I'll make a post and tell them, hey guys, it's time to get back to work. I gave you like 4 weeks off, so let's do this. Other than that, in my free time, I've just been playing games and taking it easy on myself. Because I don't want to overwork myself. I want to just keep my mind at ease and I don't want to hurt myself. Like recently I started a new Genshin Impact account that is based in the Europe server, so I can help a friend out who's also got a Genshin account. He's from the UK. So I like to help him out because he sometimes struggles. Unfortunately, I can't help him until I get to world level 8, but I'm getting there. Does new banners come out today? I think the new banners do come out today, or probably tomorrow afternoon. I'm planning to go for Yoimiya on both accounts. I made the decision to go for her on both accounts today, because here's the problem with Yoimiya. She is a character that Hoyoverse loves to put on freaking banners at the wrong times. Before Yoimiya, before Farina, before this, before that, before characters that are heavily anticipated. I did just wish and got her and was like, sweet. Oh, sweet, nice, congrats. Are the new banners out? Well, it depends on what region you're from. I'd imagine you're probably from the Asian server. I'm from, like I said, I have a Europe server one. I also have a an American one. I have not checked Genshin this morning, so I don't know. I'm gonna tell you what, the most recent character that I pulled, Navia, oh my god. She has been a save character for my other account. Because basically the DPS in my other account was Lisa. And not gonna lie, playing with her was actually a lot of fun for a while. But Navia is a lot funner. Her highest hit, I think, is around 80, 85,000 or so. I wish I'm on the American server, but she's absolutely goaded. Are you talking about Navia or are you talking about Yoimiya? Like, I have a guaranteed 5-star basically, so I am going to get Yoimiya on my American account. I want to do it now because I have C2 Raiden, all free to play by the way. I love her Element's Burst and her special attack so much. Are you talking about, again, are you talking about Navia or are you talking about Yoimiya? But, anyways, Navia. Okay. Yeah, her special attack, her little, her shotgun umbrella thing or parasol or whatever you want to call it, same thing. Yeah, fun stuff. Like, it's hilarious, but when you can, like, take a character and just push E and hit for, like, 50k on every time, yeah, it's fun. I also got hella lucky with her goddamn artifact set because probably all of the runs that I, like, keep in mind, I probably did less than 20 runs on this domain and managed to get a 4-piece set of her signature set. Nuts. It was nuts. Like, I can't remember her stats at the moment, but they were like, it's like 55% or 58% crit rate to like 133% crit damage or something like that. Highest hit 85k or so, and I just got her talent level on that skill to level 8 last night. I'm petrified about going in for artifacts. Yeah, it's not fun. I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. Okay, so you don't have Yoimiya yet. That means that the banners aren't gone yet. Like, here's the thing with Navia. Navia saved Geo. Like honestly, I can't read that. I may have to ask a friend because I feel like my team could be better. All you need for her, because if you read one of her passives that you get, I think at level, oh god, it's the second one. I want to say that's level 50 or 60. Basically, for every, I think it's Pyro, Electro, Hydro, and I think I'm missing one. Pyro, Electro, and Hydro character in your party, you gain like a 20% like attack bonus for your characters or something like that. I saw something to do with Ayaka's banner. I saw something about Ayaka's weapon. I pulled for that on my main account and got it. The Mist Splitter is one of the weapons that I've wanted for a while ever since I got my Ayaka. Had I known that Ayaka was going to be on banner for like what was it, like almost 2 months, I would have tried for the Mist Splitter a lot more. Yeah, my Ayaka is officially complete. Like, she's on the right set now. She's got the right weapon. She hits hard. What more can you ask for? Like, originally, I was saving for C1 Ganyu because I have a guarantee right now. So I gotta choose wisely. So, when I found out that the banners coming up for the Lantern Rite are not Ganyu related, I was actually shocked. But I was also happy because that meant, hey, I can pull for Yoimiya now. Because I have C2 Raiden, so she's done. And I don't care about any of the upcoming characters. Like, Cloud Retainer's human form, I'm not gonna lie, it's weird. It's weird. It's very niche, it's weird, and I don't think she's gonna fit into very many teams. Because she's not like a swirl character per se, if, from what I've read about her kit anyway. She deals with plunge damage and something to do with it's something to do with like plunge attacking, which I know only like a few characters that do that. Zhao is the main one, and apparently he doesn't work well with her. I don't know. I'm not a Genshin enthusiast. Like, don't get me wrong, she looks fucking awesome, not gonna lie. But I do not want to pull for characters that I'm not gonna use because, yeah. If I can't use the character efficiently, what the hell am I gonna do with her? I lost a 50-50 Tayaka's weapon, I think, and somehow got Layla on the weapon banner, but I like her a lot. Layla's my freaking Zhongli, basically. It's a little weird, but I do like Gaming's character design and animations. I haven't paid attention to that stuff. I've seen a little bit of. I'm just calling her a Cloud Retainer because that's what I've called her for like the last 3 years. That's what she's been called for like the last 3 years. So I don't care. Uh, yeah. But Cloud Retainer looks like looks good, but yeah, she's not for me. Maybe in the future when more characters come out and maybe there's a little bit more synergy. I don't know. But yeah, C1 Ganyu's coming another day. I was gonna save for C1 for Rena, but C0 for Rena is disgusting. Like my current team is Mona, Farina, Layla, and Ganyu. Ganyu is the main DPS. Mona is the burst like damage applier. Layla's my shield, and Farina is Hydro App and damage dealer off field. Because her little minions that she summons, once they are talent level 10, they just destroy everything. But you also got to be careful like around like explosive barrels because they will destroy those too and they will kill you. Like Farina doesn't need another constellation. She's good. She's awesome the way she is. Oh. Like she actually blew my mind because it didn't seem like she was going to be a very like a very good character if I'm being completely honest. Her burst is good for like I'm definitely gonna try and shoot for Ganyu. I'm sick of climbing even though I have 3 bars of stamina. So you have max stamina. Well, Ganyu is yeah, she's good. She's like it depends on how you like to play. Like if you like to just shoot, if you just like, well, it depends on what you're playing on. For the PC, I think it's the left mouse button, and I think on PC or and on the phone, it's literally just the charge attack button. If you like to just charge attack a lot, then yeah, she's for you. Like she works fine. I mean, she won't do you wrong. She's fucking amazing. My friend has Farina, and when we played it together, it was one shots all around. Yeah, like yeah, they're those little minions are DPSs on the field, but that would count as an off-field DPS. Kind of like how Oz for Fischl is also an off-field DPS. But that's really what I've just been doing in my free time. I started a new game yesterday. How do you say this fucking name? Ec- Ecolypse or something like that. Echo Apocalypse mixed together. Eco, Eco. It's hard to say. Whoever came up with this name, I hate you. Besides the stamina crap that basically limits on what you can do in one day, fun game actually. Definitely not for the young. I'm telling you what. There's a lot of There's a lot of it. There's a lot of skin. Nothing like revealed or anything like that. But yeah, it pushes the limits kind of like how Nikkei does. But it's a fun game actually. It's really uh I wouldn't say easy to figure out, but it's very it's kind of like a mixture of Epic 7 and Nikkei in a way. Because basically the entirety of what you do in the game all plays into your team that you have set up on the field. Like it boosts their HP, it boosts their attack, it like plays into everything that you do in the game. Like my power level right now is around 147 or something, 147,000. It's actually a pretty fun game. Like I was actually surprised. It's pretty challenging in a way where if you've had well, when mainly the bosses are hard, but that's to be accepted or expected. What am I saying? Sorry guys, I'm fucking tired. I woke up at 3:30. Okay, I've been awake since. So. But yeah, that. Oh yeah, and Honkai Star Rail, of course. Fun fucking game. I love Honkai Star Rail. And I'm sorry, but it is better than Genshin in more ways than one. I gave the Sword of Dissension to Xing Cho. So far, he's been absolutely thriving, and because I don't have the weapon he does best with. Best weapon he does with, I think, is isn't it Favonia's sword, I think? The one that has energy recharge on it? Yeah, I think so. I think energy recharge is the thing that he wants. Yeah, because of his burst. Sword of Dissension. That one doesn't ring any bells, honestly. But yeah, Xingqiu, especially at C6, for God's sake, he is not a character you want to ignore. Him, Bennett, Fischl, the 4 stars that should be 5 stars, honestly. But if you want to just give him energy recharge, yeah, just go for Favonia's sword. My Xingqiu is on all the wrong set, but it works. He's not really on field that long, anyways, so it's fine. I used to use him, but then Farina came along and just destroyed everything. Like Farina, I had been saving for ever since Nilu's last rerun, because I basically made a choice. Basically, I went for Nilu, and why is this not going down? Uh, and basically said to myself, okay, if I lose the 50-50 here, I'm gonna probably wait until the Hydra Archon because she didn't have a name yet. And I lost the 50-50 to who was it? Jean? Yeah, it was Jean. Who I actually do use now. Um so when I lost it to Jean, I said, okay, it's time to wait for the Hydra Archon. And keep in mind, I had to skip a lot of good characters that I wanted. That includes Kokomi. I think Ganyu was one of them too. That really sucked to skip. Kazuho was one of them. I know that for a fact. That was hard to skip, but I think you can actually win the game without using what's his face. What Kazuha? My God, one of the best characters in the game. But yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm not really an Abyss player, so I really don't give a shit about Abyss. And yeah, I beat the overworld shit like no problemo. So, but 4.2 is the best patch that has ever come out for this game because it's easily the best story that's ever come out, and Fontaine's just been everything good. Like I am so shocked at how well Fontaine was done in a way that was just amazing. Like I can't spoil anything. Like if you haven't played the story, I don't want to spoil. This is such a good fucking story. And you know me, I'm a reader, I'm a writer, so I'm very interested in the story stuff. The way that they did this storyline was so unexpected. It made me like jump in shock like 3 times because normally a story won't do that. Like I thought Sumeru was not going to be beaten. I was wrong. Fontaine just destroyed everything. Oh my god. But yeah, if you haven't played the quest yet, all I can say is play it. It's so good. And stay away from the spoilers because you're gonna get spoiled on something amazing. Like it completely will shock you. Even I had to re-listen, or not re-listen, but re-watch to catch things that I didn't see in the first time. And because there was a few things that was a little confusing at first, but once you rewatch it and you like take a look at certain things, you're like, oh, I get it now. Even the current patch's story, not story, but event story is what I should say, is good. Like, there's one character I can't take serious because it's the same voice actress for Luna in Hell of a Boss. I think her name is Erica Mendez or something like that. I can't take it serious. I really can't take it serious. But great character. I'll probably pull her in the upcoming banner because I'm most likely gonna pull her. Unless it's another Kuki Shinobu incident and I won't get her until like 40 pity. That was a ridiculous joke. Like, hint of advice if you play Genshin Impact and you want to pull for a 4-star character, just wait. Just wait. Don't ever try to pull for one because pulling a 4-star is worse than pulling a 5-star. It's more rare. Because here's the thing, there's 3 4-stars on one banner. There's no pity for 4-stars. You have no guarantees or anything, no pity system at all. So basically, you are literally like rolling the dice. Normally, if a new 4-star comes out, I wait. Because usually what happens is like an event like Lantern Rite comes up and you can get a character for free. That's usually what I wait for. Even though there's some cases where characters that are broken as hell, like Kuki Shinobu, yeah, I had to get her because didn't she come out? Yeah, she came out before Samuro. She came out when the Chasm Quest. No, that was after the Chasm Quest came out. So that was it? It was the patch after the Chasm. It wasn't when the Chasm came out because she wasn't running at that time. I think it was Yelan that was running at that time. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, if you haven't played 4.2 yet, that's all I can say. And the wait is worth it because the quest before that, the one in 4.1, oh my god, it's such a drag. But in a way, it fits because of what you're supposed to be in. I won't spoil, but that's the thing. But my luck in Honkai Star Rail, the better game in my opinion, it's crazy. Because do I even dare say it? I have not lost once. uh like I've gotten every character that I've needed, and I am nowhere prepared for the next place. Penacony. Like I want Black Swan because she'll work great with Kafka. She's gonna work great with Kafka. What am I saying? She's gonna give Kafka the attention that she deserves and what she needs in order to be a great unit on the field. Um, what's the other characters that are coming out that I have interest in? Sparkle was one that I was kind of on the fence about because she's Quantum and Harmony. Keep in mind, the character currently on Banner is Harmony, and all the Harmony characters that Starbell has released so far are busted. Ting Yun, Bronya, Sparkle, Ron May. They're all busted. Keep in mind, Ting Yun is a 4-star. She was one of the most busted ones that came out when the game came out. She's one of the 4 stars that first came out when the game came out. Excuse me. But this new character, Ruron Mei, oh my god. My Jingli Yu hurts a lot. Not to mention, I got her to E1, which means she basically got a constellation. Which basically what this does is exactly what Ryan C2 does. Basically, it ignores, what was it, like 20% of the defense of the enemies when her burst is active on field. Basically, Raiden Shogun does the same exact thing, only it's Electro instead. It lowers the cryo res. Let me think. Ignores 20% of the defense of your enemy while the burst is active on field, and I think it also does something with the cryo res as well. Something like that. I don't know. But basically, the long and short of it is basically any character that is on field that does a lot of damage does a lot of damage. Like my Jing used to hit for like 80k ish, and now she's hitting for over 120k ish. Oh my god, it's so stupid. But other than that, that's what I've mainly been doing. Let me just say the people that are interested in the Genshin story are gonna love the next part because it's gonna be a lot of things. I'm into the 3rd chapter right now, and I think I know where I am going with the story. That was just the big chapter that I needed to like navigate very, very carefully in order to get it correct, because I could have easily rushed this had I not been careful. To put it simply, it's a big battle. So I had to get every sequence correct. Like some of the hardest scenes are to freaking that there are to freaking write are battle scenes because there's so much going on, and there's so much that you can actually do with it as well. You can like you can do some crazy shit, especially when it's Genshin. Like Genshin has like magic, like it has a lot of opportunity. Like you can just like go the distance. Like what's the like that's the best way to put it. You can expand beyond what the game allows you to see. Like one of the things that I wanted, one of the things that I found as an idea while I was writing, I'm like, oh, I forgot that this character can actually do this, even though it's not actually something that happens in game. Like, keep in mind, I do my research. I do make sure that I get the majority of the actual lore of the characters correct, but sometimes it's really, really hard to actually get it correct because there's no determining of what is real, what's not real. Sometimes it just gets complicated as hell. I clip my fingernails. But yeah. But pony stuff, I've basically just been taking my time as much as my like I think you saw that. That was a little message in the RTBAA server. I think I know who it is. I think it's one of the artists on the project. But yeah, this second Genshin account has been a lot of fun to do. Even though some parts of it have been kind of a little, yeah, not so fun. But one of the things that I learned playing the game at first was to not rush. If you rush, you're just going to be stuck in exactly the same situation as you are in the other account. Like right now on my other account, I have 100% exploration throughout all of Fontaine. I also have basically everything caught up. So I literally have nothing to do. That's why I made the second account. Not just to help my friend out when I get to world level 8, but also to just to have fun. Because I'm bored right now. I'm so bored right now in the other account. There's nothing to do. I'm just like literally going in, doing my dailies, calling it good. So yeah, this second account has been a lot of fun. Like even Navia was a godsend. Like she is so much fun to play. You literally just either push or hold E and boom, you shoot rocks in people's faces and watch the big numbers, show up. Oh wow, I didn't even see those. PS4 specific green corner. Oh, interesting. Sorry, man, I didn't even see those. YouTube not being smart right now. Just completely was making our conquest and found almost all of the geoculi, and somehow I missed two even with the interactive map. Yeah, those are kind of a tricky thing. I just used the resonance stones. Sorry, everyone. I didn't see that. Oops, a doodle. So, hello, Krissa. I am so sorry. I did not see those. That's YouTube's fault. I did not see anything going on in the chat. But yeah, that's basically yeah. I've been having a lot of fun just playing this account again. Like it, I was really thinking it was gonna be like very very what's the word I'm looking for? Like taxing. Like what's the word to say? Like I thought it was gonna be kind of a work, like too much work. Well, technically it wasn't. Well, not technically. What the word? 3:30, guys. 3:30. But yeah, I was shocked to find out that it's actually pretty nice to replay the game again because you find out things that you did wrong at the first of it. You get to have a lot more fun with the characters, build them correct. You get to do things that you couldn't have done before and actually do them correct this time. Like one of my habits is spending the goddamn resin. The fragile resin, I mean. I need to really stop making a habit of that because I have none. And I like to build my character. The reason why is I like to build my characters because I want my characters to be strong. I mean, my Navia hits for like 85k, but I have to make her strong. So basically, what I'm working on now is getting ready for level 90 because I never spend the resin. You can have mine. Well, you need to spend it. You need to spend it. It's what it's there for. But anyways, like I'm just working on getting my characters to level 90 because level 90 is like the last ascension and I need to get there. My main team right now is Navia, Jean, Mona, and Xianling. Yeah, I got a Mona. Took me fucking almost 2 years to get her on my second account, but yeah, on my second account, I get her within 14 pulls. Jean came home around oh shit. It was the first 10 pull on standard, unbelievably. I am not which one is better though, the blue flower or the gold? What are you talking about? Are you talking about but it's for resin. Blue Oh, you're talking about ley lines. You're talking about ley lines. They have a specifically different purpose. The blue is the ones that allow you to farm for like books that you can use to upgrade your characters, while the gold ones are more for resources like your Mora, so that you can, not be broke. And you want to get the condensed resin recipe before you do that because what condensed resin basically does is it allows you to basically make it so that when you get the rewards, you get double rewards. It makes it a lot more easier, let me tell you that. And I think you get condensed resin at level 3 on reputation, something like that. Oh, that makes sense. I definitely need the gold one because I'm broke. Yeah, that happens. That does happen, my friend. It happens. But one thing that does help a lot in the game is getting a 5-star. And even like the standard 5 stars early game are not that bad. Like Mona right now is really good because of the Farina thing. Like Farina, double hydro, not that bad. I want to be generous to my fellow merchants. I buy everything when I have the Mora. What you should be spending your Mora mainly on is probably, you know, upgrades. Like upgrading your characters is very, very important, especially when your adventure rank is stacking up. Like one thing that I found odd playing through the game again was the Ascension domain. The Ascension domain has been nerfed hard. Like, in a way, I think that's a good thing, but also is not a good thing. Because when I went through it the first time, it was fucking hard. It was hard. The Electro Cube, gone now. Because I remember doing that domain, and that thing comes up at the end, I'm like, how the fuck you kill this thing? I didn't know you're supposed to kill the little node thingamajigs that it summons at the end. I had to ask somebody because I'm like, how do you kill this thing? So yeah, a little annoying. So yeah, I had to like it's good for beginners that it's nerfed, but at the same time it's not a good thing at the same time. Because it also is so nerfed that you aren't prepared for the freaking difficulty you are going to face in the next world level difficulty. They nerfed it. That's partially why I stopped playing, especially since I couldn't have outside help. Good lord. Dude, do you have a Twitter? Do you have a Twitter? Do you have a Discord? Something? Because if you do, I want you to DM me. You don't have a Discord? Because if you have a Discord, okay, if you have a Discord, I want you to friend me on Discord because I want to help you. I can help you with my American account. I want to help you because you are struggling so badly. What was the thing that you were struggling with? Wait a minute. Are you stuck on co-op mode? Can you not get co-op mode right now? Oh Lord. God. If this is what I think it is, oh Lord, I know the pain. Like I guess it all just depends on where the hell you're where you're at in game. It was on my old account, unfortunately, because Genshin decided to unleash Fontaine and I didn't have the space. AR-35. Okay, so you can do co-op. Um, send me your ID, your user ID. Um, and I'll friend you because I want to help you. I think I have AR-30 because I have Dane's Quest, but not TCG. I don't even touch the TCG crap. I just ignore that. Like, does it give you primos? Yes, but it's also just not fun, in my opinion. It's too competitive. And that's the problem. That's why I did it. That's why I had to quit Epic 7. Epic 7 is one of the most competitive gacha games you can imagine. Very competitive. You constantly have to have all of these new units, otherwise you're just screwed. when I did try to do it with a friend right after someone went right in, but it never worked. Um, I think I might have it. I think I might know what's wrong. Uh, your co-op might be blocked because there's certain quests that make it so that you can't use co-op mode. And if you're stuck in it, then you have to beat it in order to have co-op again. And I think Dainsleif's quest is one of them, if I'm not mistaken. And I know that quest is not fun. Well, it depends on which one it is. If it's the first one, yeah, it's still not fun. Still not a fun quest because there's points where you have to excuse me. There's points where you have to fight like a rune guard, a rune hunter, and like an abyss mage at the same fucking time. The R&R quest on my old account jacked up my account bad. Yeah, the R&R quest. Oh god, don't even get me started on how badly those were mapped. That's why I haven't even touched Sumeru on my other account besides the Archon quests. Yeah, that shit was just horrible. Like that's the one thing I hated about Sumeru. The freaking exploration. It was horrible because the majority of everything that you need in order to like max the statues and all that stuff are all story locked. And you have to do the R&R quest line in order to get them. If there's anything I can't stand in like games, it's when they do that shit. Oh, you have to do this, you have to do that in order to get to the Gendroculus. You. Ugh. Yeah, annoying. That's why I haven't even touched where Reyna is on the road when you're trying to do the is it the first act? Yeah, it's the first act. When you're going to meet Alhaitham, yeah, Reyna or Rana, whatever it is, she's right there on the road. So it's very easy to get locked into that quest. Yeah, very annoying. But if you look up in like the top corner, it's like the top, that would be your left. The top left corner of your screen, like right next to your, hang on, I gotta think of the screen. It's like right next to the question mark thing on your screen. That's the co-op mode thing. If it's blocked, then that means that you're stuck in a quest that it won't let you use co-op. It's like in my second account, I did not want to do Dragon Spine again, but I ripped off the band-aid because there's a lot of Primo Gems in Dragon Spine. Not only that, there's a lot of EXP, there's a lot of stuff that you need. And it wasn't as bad as I remembered it being. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. My Navia literally carried my ass, but I think the worst part of that entire quest line was that one area where you have to get the thing where the lake is. It's basically a time challenge. You have to kill a certain amount of enemies in a certain amount of time, and the last one is like two abyss mages, if I remember correct. Yeah, that thing sucks. That makes a lot more sense. At least now Genshin can't absorb my space like a jerk. Yeah, my phone has the same exact issues and all that stuff. So I had to delete Honkai Impact off my phone because yeah, it's way too space heavy. Like 27 gigs or something like that. Like don't get me wrong, Honkai Impact is a great game. But dear God Almighty, is it way too much to take? Like you have to be someone with a lot of time in order to even play that game. It's it has a lot of content, a little too much content to keep up with. Not only that, it's very pay to win because you have to constantly be pulling the characters on banner, off the banner in order to win Abyss. You have to do all this crap. Yeah, it's just not it's not worth it in my opinion. That's why I like Honkai Star Rail better because Honkai Star Rail is generous in a way where basically every event in one patch gives you enough jades, which are basically the primo gems of it, to pull a 5-star character. You are guaranteed a 5-star character every patch if you just do the events and your dailies and all that lovely stuff. Basically, you just got to play the game. You don't even have to like get the hardest like shit out of the way. It's just the basic stuff. Your dailies, the main stuff of the main events, that's why it's fun to me. Like Honkai Star Rail can get a little irritating at times, especially with like Memory of Chaos, but it's not that bad. Like to me, it's probably one of the best games out there. Like Genshin used to be like one of the best games in my opinion, but Honkai Star Rail has just completely blew it out of the water. Because not only because of the fact that it's a more generous game, but it's also because of the fact that they gave us a free 5-star. An actual good 5-star. And you want to know what it was for? For the players basically playing the game and helping them to win 2 awards in the game awards. That's all it was for. It wasn't like an anniversary reward. It was them being generous for us basically picking up the phone and downloading the game. Like, why can't Genshin do that? They have the power. They have the resources. Why can't they give us a 5-star like selector? Like, why can't we like get a 5-star selector where we can finally pick the 5-star that we want for free? I'll tell you why. Because of the fact that money exists. It's a money thing. They know that their banners produce a lot of income, so they just stick to it. Until Genshin gets some fucking competition that isn't their own game, yeah, Genshin ain't ever gonna change. Like, I've been waiting for them to change the resin cap to 200 or so forever, and it's never gonna happen. When with Honkai Star Rail, the resin cap started at what was it, 140 or 160? I think it was one. Yeah, I think it was like 140 or something like that. Either that or 120, because you could only do like 4, 8, 12. Yeah, it was 120. Then like 2 patches later, it went up to 240. Like, what the hell, Kenshin? Why can't you be as nice as Honkai Star Rail? Like, I seriously think Honkai Star Rail is the test game for like what works and what doesn't. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a few games that I did, or there's a few like events that have come out in the game that I absolutely hated. Like there was one where you had to go into little dungeons and basically it was kind of like Minesweeper in a way, but not exact. It took way too long. Like it took way too long. Like it took you like 20 minutes to do one dungeon. And that was the problem with it. But other than that, the storyline to the entire like first storyline was amazing. I've had that same thought before. It's so strange the way they treat both games because they're different teams. Like they're both different teams. Like I don't know where Hoyoverse is like situated, like where the Honkai Star Rail main Hoyoverse headquarters is situated, but I know that the Genshin one is in Shanghai because of the fact of what happened with Ayaka's banner all the way back. Oh, that was funny. But anyways, the yeah, the entire first storyline to Honkai Star Rail, the Belobog one, was amazing. Like I don't know what happened when we went to the second world because the second world just kind of sucked. Like, don't get me wrong, not everything was horrible, but the majority of it was not memorable at all. Like, there's characters that I like, but it's nowhere near as memorable as the first place you go. The battle at the end of the first one, the first boss, like the first big boss you actually face, it's such a memorable battle because there's music that catches you completely off guard. It feels real, like you're actually fighting for survival. Like, it feels real. It gets you. And it's done so goddamn well. Like, if I could put this into a like Genshin perspective, it would probably be Child and the Adepti in the Leeway in part 3 of the Leeway Archon Quest, the finale. That battle in Genshin Impact feels real. Like, you're running around trying to dodge the attacks, you're killing the Fatui. It feels real. Just like how the Bellabog one against Kakalia, that one feels so real. Like, you are in this battle and you feel it. Like, I don't know how to explain it any better than that. Like, it's done so well. Then you just go to the next place and it doesn't feel as real. Like, it just feels eh. It's eh. Like, the storyline was even kind of weird, if I'm being honest. Like, it had one good moment where it was like, what the hell just happened? But other than that, yeah, it's pretty meh. Now we are going to the next world, which is Pentaconi, and this looks interesting. I don't know what the hell they are going to do, but this looks kind of like a cyberpunky kind of world, and it looks awesome. But is it gonna be good? Like, that's the thing. Is it gonna be like memorable? Is it gonna be another Bellabog? Is it gonna be like something that you feel? Like, all the characters in Bellabog, Bronya, Zila, Hook, uh, Natasha, Kakalia, Japard, all of the characters felt real. I'm not sure if it's a thing they'd add or should add, but I'd like a mechanism that renders you invisible to enemies. Because, like, I'm not trying to battle a Fatui regiment while on a quest. What's weird? A character has that mechanic in Honkai Star Rail. Zila, she has a skill that you can do that makes you basically invisible. But I can't wait for the new region. I'm super excited, especially after what we got for Fontaine. Natlin. And I hate to tell you, but remember the battle with Signora where we had the blazing heat mechanic or whatever it was? Just like that battle, it's going to be a thing. It is most certainly going to be a thing in Natlin. And the sheer cold mechanic is probably going to come back to like a mechanic in Snezhnaya as well, which is gonna fucking suck. Like, keep in mind, I don't have any, like, I have no like actual like proof that this is gonna happen, but it's most likely gonna happen because it's the fire region. The fire region is gonna have fire and fire mechanics. Just like how Fontaine had the hydro mechanics with like the underwater swimming and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, Dea completely just broke Dragon's spine. That character, I mean, I don't care what people say, but she's not useless in a way that people are saying. Like, I've done at least like 25k with her, but I get it. She's not like what you would get out of a really good 5-star. But if you want to explore Dragonspine, just take her. Because she breaks Dragonspine's mechanics. Basically, if she gets below, like, what is it, like a quarter of her health, she automatically heals herself. Simple. Oh, that's so stupid. I don't think they even realized that too when they made the character. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I'm just not looking forward to Snezhnaya or Natlan because I know those mechanics are gonna come into play. Ice enemies, fire enemies, sure cold, uh, whatchamacallit, blazing heat, those are gonna be a thing. Volcanoes are certainly gonna be a thing because fire. Uh, According to what Novulette said, apparently it's like a nation of like dragons and war. So that's two interesting things that are gonna be a part of Natlan. Like I don't know what to expect. Just like how I went into Fontaine not knowing what the hell was gonna happen. I knew I made the guess that it was gonna be very Phoenix righty because of the justice thing. Like that I knew was gonna be a mechanic. Instead of icicles, you get volcanic rocks. Yeah, there's probably gonna be lava pits, there's probably gonna be some bullshit mechanic. Yeah. I'm kind of glad, like, I'm glad that in Sumeru they didn't add like a mechanic in the desert, like where you could only be out in the sun for so long before you would like become like over you know bear overbearing with like exhaustion and heat exhaustion. I'm so fucking glad they did not do that because that was annoying. That would have been annoying. That and Fontaine just got the freaking underwater diving thing completely correct. Like in my second account, I am spending most of my time in Fontaine right now because Fontaine is that much of a comfort region. Like you can explore so comfortably without having any trouble. Whereas with Sumeru, you hit constant roadblocks. Leeway, it's just the climbing. The climbing is just a pain in the ass. Even Mondstadt has like the climbing crap going on. But at least it's not that bad in a way. But yeah, Fontaine was everything done right. No oxygen meter, no drowning. Just let us swim peacefully. Like people threw a fit with the what was it, the water, the bubble diaper thing. Oh, I can't see my waifu's ass, dude. Grow the up. Like seriously. Yeah, the leeway climbing is definitely a thumbs down because I forgot that right after you leave with child, you have to go to the peaks. I didn't have any waypoints unlocked. I didn't have any waypoints unlocked. So I spent like 20 minutes climbing to the top of these damn things. Not only, but I've learned a few tricks of the trade. I've learned a few tricks of the trade. I watch a lot of Genshin Impact like swords only, stamina, no stamina, like challenges. Like those are so fun to watch because you learn things. Like you learn how to like kind of break the game in a way that makes sense. Like you can skip domains so damn easily if you have the right characters. But I made some rules with the second account, and I've limited myself to 5 characters that I can only have that I can have in that account that I have in my other account. One of those characters is going to be Farina. If I lose the 50-50 to Yoimiya in the second account, Farina. 100% Farina. And another one is probably going to be Nahida because she's just broken. And Hyperbloom is broken. Before I start any major quests or oculi hunting, I always get waypoints and statues before I start. What I do with the oculi when I'm like getting waypoints and stuff, if I see one, I just grab it. That's how I got. That's how I got Fontaine's oculi hunting out of the way so quickly. It's one of the easiest ways to collect the oculi. If you see one, grab it. Get it. And Fontaine did have a Aranara thing going on with the Melazines. But here's the thing. They made the right decisions with this one. Not only was it not related, or not only was it released in all one patch, it was like, not only was it like mapped correctly as like a side quest, but it was also done in a way where it wasn't all released in one go. They released it in separate patches so you had time to catch up. Like, it didn't feel like I was doing 10 hours worth of quests. It actually was peaceful and very very fun to play. There were a few that I had to look up because some of them were kind of in very obscure areas, but these quests are very like short and straight to the point, while the R&R quest is just a jumbled mess. Like, I thought I completed that storyline so many times, but it literally took me months before I realized, oh hey, there's this one guy that I have to go see, for God's sakes. Yeah, I don't want to do that ever again. That was annoying. I don't mind doing the Melazine quest line, but this one was the R&R quest was a mistake. A huge mistake. Not only that, I like the Melazines more. They actually like are likable. They look better. Yeah, the Melazines were just better in every retrospect. There's one quest I can't remember, but I had to go somewhere to go to the dream place, and for months I went exactly where it was, and I didn't. Dream place. Oh! I know what it is. I know what it is. If you're talking about Sumeru, you have to switch basically the mode that Vanarana is in. You have to go to, I think it's one of the onion-looking things. There's one that switches from the Dream Realm, or like regular mode where you can't actually see them during the day, to Dream mode where you can see the Arnara in plain sight. It's a little again, just another mechanic that was a humongous mistake. Yeah, that's probably what you're talking about. Don't worry. I got confused with it too because they didn't tell you what the fuck to do. Ugh. That's the kind of quest that I absolutely just despise. When they don't tell you what to do. They just leave you, basically, to find it out yourself. Like, if guides didn't exist, I guarantee you the majority of people wouldn't have completed the quests. Like, these people that make these guides that come out right after the patch comes out, they've got to be developers. They have to be. Because they know the ins and outs, they know exactly what to do, they know where everything is. They've got to be developers. What else could they be? Wizards? But yeah, I was shocked when I found out that Ganyu wasn't going to be rerun in 4.4 because Lantern Right's coming up. But the fact that they are releasing a Ganyu skin, but they don't have Ganyu being rerun doesn't make any sense to me. Like, Ganyu's my favorite character, so you bet your ass I'm getting that skin. And apparently, this is how Genshin decided to make up for the free 5-star in Honkai Star Rail. Basically, they're giving you, well, this is speculated, okay? It apparently we are getting a 4-star skin selector. So basically, every 4-star skin that has been released in the game, you now have a chance to get for free. Which, if Ganyu's is available, I'm going to get it for free. I still want Kuching's because I love Kuching's. Hers is like one of the best, in my opinion. That one that Klee has, oh my god, so cute. the little witch. But, yeah, I don't have Klee. And probably will never get her because she kind of sucks and is kind of weird to play. Trust me, the trials are really what sell the character for me. Like when I played Navia on my second account in the trial run, I'm like, oh my god, this is hilariously fun. Like even Novulette, or Novulette, what the ever. Sorry, the French, but yeah. But Novulette, even he almost got me in the trial run. Oh, he was one of the characters I had to skip because of Farina. I don't regret it, but yeah, Novulette was a lot of fun too. A lot of fun. Like he literally just takes a water gun and kills everything. Very demoralizing. Yeah, that's one of the problems with like quests like that. They feel very like, what am I doing wrong? It's like one that I just replayed in my second account. It's the it's the one where you have to find all the stuff related to Guizhong. I I can't remember. I want his character so bad, but Ryavsli's character Rivesley is what I need. See, and when I played his trial, I didn't like his playstyle at all. I thought he was going to be like another, like a Cryodia, but no, he was kind of wonky to play. Like if you want him, get him, but yeah, he was not for me. His playstyle was so goddamn wonky. I don't know if I was doing something wrong, but yeah, I'm more of a simple kind of player, so I like simple playstyle. Much easier said than done. Like Nahida, you push E, you do a swoop, and everybody's covered in Dendro. Then you go up to the character, you use a Hydro character like Xingqiu to apply Hydro. Then you summon Red and Shogun, use the burst, and kill everything in sight. Love Kai as a sweetheart, but I'm not waiting 4 seconds every time to make an ice bridge so I don't drown in the ocean. Yeah. Uh, to counter that issue, just get Farina. Farina can walk on water. She's God. Which is funny because she is a god. Yeah, she's got the Kokomi ability, except you don't have to be in your burst in order to do it. You have constant uptime on your E skills, so you can always walk across water. She was one, like, I can't believe how much, you know, Verena sold me. Like, when I first met her, I was like, like, I'm not gonna lie, she reminded me a lot of Trixie because she has like the stubbornness, she has the ego, she's got the like, I'm not gonna lie, the voice, the very like nasally, like upstuck voice. Like she just reminded me straight up of Trixie. I'm like, oh my god, she sounds a lot like Trixie. Scarily. Her voice actress, oh my god. What's her name? Amberly Connors or something like that? She is so good. Like they casted a fantastic voice actors for her. On the topic of Archons, I really wish all of them have some synergy. Because you know they're Archons, but given the lore, it makes sense as to why they're not cohesive. Uh there is an Archon team. There is an Archon team. Farina, Raiden, and Nahida work perfectly together, and you can run Zhongli in there to shield. So they work in a team, but synergy, I'm not really sure about that one. Ow. Like, if there's one thing this game does right, it's story. Like, sometimes they get the story correct, sometimes they don't. And ever since, uh, ever since, why do I keep wanting to say Inazuma? Sumeru, they have done fantastic. Like the R&R thing might have been a mistake, but good God, the writing was on point. Like, sure, they were hell long, like 5 hours, but hey, so was Fontaine. Like the final quest took me 5 hours, but trust me, it was worth it. It was worth every second. Like I said, no spoilers, but yeah, it's a fantastic quest. There was one question I wanted to ask that isn't Genshin related. How many words are your chapters? I finally started my story, but had deleted by accident. It depends. Like that recent chapter that I just wrote that I told you was battle related is 7,000 something words long. So that equivalates to, let's see, 4,000, 5,000 equals like 40 minutes. 7,000 equals over an hour easily. But the majority of my chapters are usually around 2 to 3,000, which equivalates to about 30 minutes. It all depends. Like usually if it's a major chapter that involves a lot of character development and stuff like that, it's a longer chapter. But if it's just something to like, like just carry the story onward, it's usually only like 2 to 3,000 words because it's not really something that's in like of a main focus. It's just kind of meant to carry the story along. The big chapters are where like it comes into like character development and character interaction, like when Ganyu and Kuching have their first interaction, their first like romantic like confession. That chapter I think is like 5,000, 5 to 7,000. Yeah, it just all depends. Like you bet your ass if it's an important chapter, it's going to be a long one. It's not because it's a need or anything. It's just because it's a big chapter with a lot in it. Okay, I think I know where I'm going next with the Genshin story, and it's gonna go into an interesting direction, but I gotta make it interesting enough for the next part. Like because the battle is only 2 chapters in. So I gotta add 2 more and make it to where it's going to fit into the next, like going into the next part. I think it's mainly because I read fast, and so to supplement it, I add it to a lot more words to even out the time spent reading. Interesting. Like I'm not necessarily a fast reader, but I can read relatively fast. Especially if I'm just reading to myself, I can read pretty damn fast. Like I could read a Goosebumps novel in one day at school. It all depended if I didn't have any work to do or anything like that. And I was usually the one that didn't have work to do because I was a good student. But yeah, Pennywise content, yeah, it's just a waiting game. It's all just a waiting game. But I promise it's not going to take a goddamn year because that was kind of ridiculous on my end. So I gotta get my artists into the works. The next chapter or the next part to RTBA A2 is gonna be probably a big one because yeah, it's gonna be probably one of the most important parts to it because this whole part 2 RTBA focuses around like less the whole Bittersweet Apple Lakers part and more Flora herself. Like how things got to where they were basically. It's like the backstory. Like in terms of like the fan fiction and stuff, I have checked, but God, there's really not good stories. I'm just, I'm just, I'm just being exact. I'm just gonna be honest. There is not very many stories that I am interested in, and I've looked. Trust me, I've looked. I've also been coming up with some ideas as well for potentially this year's Halloween special, but I don't know about that yet. That's up in the air. That's kind of up in the air. I even visited the site myself, and there's not a lot of eye-catching things. Site. Oh, the site. Hence why I'm making my own stories. Exactly. That's what I'm doing. Like, I want to make more Honkai Star Rail stories, but there's really not much to write around if I'm being completely honest. Like I said, Bellabog was my favorite chapter because it had a lot of memorable characters. And if you haven't seen it, as fate would have it, that one focuses around probably my two favorite characters from that arc, Bronya and Zila. It is hinted that they are lovey-dovey, so I don't mind it. I don't mind it. As you've seen on my channel, I have multiple female on female stories. Savior, tons of all of my Valentine specials for Pony were all girl or were all female on female. But the idea that I have for this year's Halloween special has to do with the 28 Pranks Later uh, stories. Once I get the long one out, I want to do an interaction series with different characters so I can flesh out my own, and it may or may not play into different stories. That's interesting. And it's good to go your own path because I'm not going to lie, I've been wanting to branch out for a while because I want to try different things. Pony got kind of old, and I want to try new things. That's why I'm trying the Genshin story. And I don't care how many views it gets, I'm still going to try. Because the Ruby story that I did like 2 years ago, that thing started out kind of on the low spectrum, but it's slowly starting to tick. Up to the last time, I'm still listening from time to time. I even re-listen to it myself. Like I go back and re-listen to my shit, not because I'm tooting my own horn. I'm just simply listening to like how I've improved. But even listening to it again, 28 Pranks Later is very unsettling. Like the second one was very unsettling. Like listening to it on headphones and stuff like that, it felt very unsettling in a way. Like it hit a lot different than it did 2 years ago. Like I'm not sure where I'm going with it yet, nor if it's going to be a thing. Like this is kind of an idea that's kind of up in the air because I have so much other shit to work on. I've got the Genshin story, I've got RTBAA, I've got whatever the hell else is coming this year. Like people have been asking for a Savior uh sequel. And I've had ideas. I've had ideas that that story can branch out very far. But I don't know yet. I don't know yet. So I've just been doing what I do have plans for rather than focusing on what may be. Like the idea that I've got for a Savior remake is like something to do with the Royals, like not retaliating against like Twilight and Sunset, but something like how do I explain this? I don't know, like Twilight becoming something like unique. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like the Royals see her as like something unique that hasn't existed in a long time. Like I could go in a lot of different directions, honestly. Like there's a lot of ways that that story can go from where I left off. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, 2024 is gonna be hopefully a productive year. I've just been taking my time because I ain't 21 anymore. I need to take things slow. But I'm really surprised at how well the Reborn Redux did. Like here I was thinking that it was kind of gonna be like a kind of like my take on Silent Ponyville. No, it completely blew up in a good way. Like even I impressed myself. Sure, but when it comes to that, I even impressed myself with the Reborn Redux. And I hate to say it that way because it just sounds like I'm tooting my own horn, but you gotta like pat yourself on the back sometimes because that story ended up more like a masterpiece. Like it was done so well. Like I'm proud of myself for what I actually did to it. I made it into something much better than what the original was. That cover art was quite a work because I was in the call the entire time when the artists were working on it. There's two artists on that, by the way. The background, oh god, the background I think was done by Pretzel, and I think the front part with Absentia and Scootaloo was done by Gazer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the two art styles are very different. Very specific art styles. It was done so well. Like I wish I would have like added a little bit more to the first two chapters, but I hello Izzy. But I was hoping I was trying not to like make it too obvious that it was different. Like I like to kind of build the suspense a little bit. Like it's chapter 3 where things kind of start to change and get a little bit more specific if that's the right word, like more descriptive. Because that was the main problem with Reborn that I had was that the voice acting was so goddamn bad and things just needed to be like the ante needed to be turned up a lot. Not to mention, creating the music for it was actually a really interesting experience because literally what I did was just I literally played it and just kind of made music as it went along, kind of matching the tone of the characters and stuff like that. And I think I did a really good job, which I hope I would. I mean, I'm a musician of like 20 plus years, so I should know a thing or two about music by now. But I expect probably to have the next part of the Genshin effect probably done either towards the end of the month or maybe towards the beginning of February. If there isn't anything out this month, it's due to exhaustion. Not only that, my brain was kind of on a writer's block. I had writer's block for the battle, so I had to kind of work myself around that as well, and that kind of not stresses your mind, but it exhausts your mind. If you've ever had writer's block, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not fun. It's a writer's kryptonite. There's a lot of things that I want to do this year, but yeah, it's not all YouTube related. I want to really do a lot of things for myself because I want to better my life. Like, don't get me wrong, my life isn't horrible. It's just I really want to do more with my life. Someone dying is harder than I thought. At least someone who's already died and someone who's fine now. Here's how you know if you're writing a good dying scene, especially if it's between like people like loved ones. If you feel the emotion, you're doing a good job. Like the dying scene in Savior, when Twilight bites the dust, her interaction between Twilight, or her interaction between Sunset and her, yeah, that got me a few times. That got me a few times while editing it. If you feel the emotion, it's a good thing. Death is all about like saying goodbye to the world and basically trying to go with no regrets. Trying to basically say your last goodbye, and I don't know. It all depends on how you're dying, honestly. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the most gnarly death that I've ever written was freaking Sarah's. Holy fucking shit. Sarah's in freaking RTBAA 1. Holy crap. Good point. I ain't feeling it. Yeah, you've gotta feel it in order for your audience to feel it. Like even the dying scene between Rainbow Dash and Scootaloo in the Reborn remake. Holy, yeah. The voice acting on my end, I was really impressed. Oh yeah, he'd be devastated. But yeah, that scene where Rainbow Dash is trying to explain why she became Rainbow at Factory Dash. Yeah, I was really impressed with my voice acting because I usually struggle with like emotional voice acting, but the crying, I was like shocked because I nailed that so well. And I remember when I recorded it, I just went for it. I didn't like try to preempt, like I didn't try to do anything prior. I just went for it. I just went straight for it, and that's what came out. Same thing in the scene in Savior when Sunset confronts her mother's spirit. Look, I know that's cheesy, but that's something that I like to put in my stories. Like I like I'm a sucker for like the family spirit like guiding the child. If I woke up myself, you know what I do. Well, you've got to kind of build that up in a way that it works. That crying was top tier though. Not sure I can even do that. Well, that's because I really have a tendency to feel the characters. Like when I do those lines, I tend to close my eyes. I really tend to close my eyes and just go for it. And keep in mind, I don't cry much, so that's why it's sometimes challenging for me. But it made my mom cry like crazy. Like she was my like what's the word? Not my critic, but well, yeah, she was my critic. My mom listened to it before it was even released. And I was out helping my dad with something. I don't remember what it was. Uh, and I came into the house and she walked up to me and she went, "You, I'm gonna kick your ass," or something like that. And I'm like, "What did I do?" And she's like, "You made me cry, you asshole." And I'm like, "Why?" And she's like, "Your damn story, what?" I'm like, "Oh, the scene. Okay, I get it, I get it, I get it. I get it." But when the emotion gets to even my mom, I'm like, that's a good sign because that means that yeah, it conveys the message. Like that scene where Rainbow or Rainbow Dash, the scene where Scootaloo comes back to her fucking senses and attacks Rainbow Dash, that was a rough day for my voice. Like that anger it's not real, but it is real. Like it sounds real, it feels real. Not to mention that little trick that I did when Rainbow Dash is trying to convey to Skulu that it's her and it's not Rainbow Factory Dash, where she goes like, "Skulu, please stop!" Bop, 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 bop. The little fade effect and the repeat, like those, even those little effects can add an impact. And I really did enjoy like doing that because it conveys the message and it really just adds an extra like punch to the chest. Like playing a pissed off Scootaloo, that was rough. My voice was ready to die by the time it was over. It's like little tricks like that that just work perfectly. Like when it comes to that kind of stuff, I just go for it. I just like straight up go for it. Like I just throw all of my effort into it and just try. And even though it doesn't sound good on basis sometimes, when I listen back, yeah, I'm dreading writing how her daughter is going to react because on top of the grieving spell, the spell the mom cast on her wears off, and she's going to be in a world of pain when it's gone. That's fucked up. That's pretty fucked up. But yeah, over the past few years, my mom has really gotten into my content. She's really like actually taken it seriously and understood and understands what I do and exactly what goes into it. Like now she understands exactly how much work I put into everything that I do, like of my own work. It's it's a lot. And the fact that she's my best critic, my mom isn't one that's like a bullshitter. She's one that will basically tell me when she doesn't agree with something. Like there were certain things in our TBAA that she didn't agree with as well, but you can't impress everybody with everything. So, but she said it wasn't something that impacted the story like as a whole. It was just something that she personally didn't like. Like the first story she ever listened to by me was Cheating Dog, and she liked that one because the Saw themes. She's a huge Saw fan, so I and if you can't tell, I'm a Saw fan too. It's in a lot of my writing, so you should know by now. So people wanted a freaking sequel to that, so I'm like, no. Like those ones get kind of tough to write. I'm not gonna lie, because you can only do so much like with that kind of a theme before it starts to get repetitive. Why do you think the Saw films have such a hard time being good anymore? If there's one thing I can tell you, you're not going to impress everybody. You're going to get criticism. You're going to get people that don't like it. It's going to happen. It's just something you got to learn to take with a grain of salt. I know it's not the best thing you want to hear, but it's just part of the voice acting world. Or not voice acting. It's just part of the world of like making content. Cheeton needs no sequel. It's obvious that he's dead sometime after the story. Yeah, and the one thing about it is that it's not a happy ending per se, because Sweetie Belle basically did get rid of Button, but to do it, she had to drop to the level of the monster that she wanted to get rid of in the first place. Like it's a bittersweet ending because while Button did deserve everything he got, it was also the wrong way to do it. Like it's not the justified way, it's just basically the way that Sweetie Belle saw the most fitting. Like those are the cases where justice is taken into people's own hands. And it's it's not the right thing to do basically. Like people made that point and I'm like that's basically the point. She became the monster herself. It's kind of like it's a constantly ending never ending cycle. Like the monster that violated you causes you to become that monster and it just becomes like a never ending cycle. Let me tell you what, that was the story that I had the hardest time coming up with a fucking title for, but I loved the title I came up with, Cheating Dawn, because it plays on the whole like twist and you don't realize it. And Dawn is like the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the destination of the story. Like you have to basically do all this shit before dawn, otherwise Sweet Belle dies. Even though we know it would have never happened. Like that was a story that I had the hardest time finding the goddamn ending to. Like there were so many different ways I wanted the story to end. First, because the daughters and Alicorn, it was like died Pegasus, da 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 da. Spill mom, Cass was died, and spill the beans when she grows up. Parents should not do that shit. But yeah, Cheating Dawn, yeah, very clever little title. Like people say I should revamp a lot of my stories. And well, I agree with that. I don't really wanna because Reborn was enough work. Like it was so much goddamn work. I think before I do something like that again, I need to take a break from that kind of crap. Like if there was another story that I'd want to revamp and I really don't want to do this one, it's unmarked. Like there's a lot of things I'd like to rewrite and redo, but it's such a long story. It's like 21 chapters long. There's so many voice actors in it. There's so many parts. There's so much that goes into that story. There's just a lot that I know I could redo and make better, but yeah, it'd be a pain in the ass. It probably wouldn't get done as like one whole series because there was like what 8 parts. So 21 chapters, 8 parts. Jesus Christ, no way, Jose. I mean, I knew Reborn was going to be work, but not as much work as like what Unmarked would be. Because Reborn, the only part that really had a lot of work put into it was that third chapter, the one where Scootaloo goes into the machine and she drowns. That scene has so much going on in it that it is ridiculous. The only other major work that went into it was probably either Rainbow Dash's like scene where she dies and gets confronted, or when it came to making the music stuff. Because music's a lot of work. Like I'm not gonna lie, probably the easiest one to make was the one where Scootaloo basically just goes hog wild on Rainbow Dash. What's that one called? Fateful Showdown or something like that. I've also been trying to learn the song, well, the piano ones uh, on my keyboard, and I actually have learned Absentia's Goodbye pretty well. It's actually not that difficult. It's pretty much a little like what's the word? Not a scale, but a pattern. It like repeats itself over and over again until it gets to the parts. Then there's the Fateful Showdown one. That one's a lot of percussion based. Like I remember that one only has like a few different things. Like it has the parts. It also has the drums, the tribal drums. And what's the other thing that I had? It had the sound effect of sound. that's kind of the majority of what it had. That and the strings at the parts where it would go silent. The da, 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 that part. If you didn't notice in those little tunes, I um I followed the same melody as Rainbow Factory. The da 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 da, that one. Like Absentious Goodbye is definitely the easiest one of the bunch. I promise I'm trying to not make the daughter of a Mary Sue type character. She's not going to be royalty, but I do want her to be some sort of to play some sort of role with the main six. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, shit. You should tell your OST playlist for your stories. I would listen to those nonstop. I've thought about it. I've thought about it. I did release them on the Bandcamp version. I also I don't know. I'm kind of hesitant to do that because it's kind of iffy putting out your music because there's clearly some parts that are off time, but that's not my goddamn fault. That's the program's fault. The metronome kept the little blocks that work as the metronome kept basically bugging and wouldn't like keep it like, stable in the boxes. Ugh. So, not my fault. But who cares? It gets the point across. But that's something I've been wanting to do with my music for a while. The first time I ever did something like that was Eternally in Savior. Which. Oh, God. Yeah, it goes low. Which basically all that story. All that consists of is an A, an E, I don't know, and a D. Basically, wait, isn't there another chord in there? Something like that. I don't know. In spite of that, I think I did really good. I didn't notice much at all. Hang on. I think it did really good. The music, I mean? Or the music, you mean? And then there's that one. What's that one? Dun, da, da, da. The truth one. Yeah, the truth one. Nope. I don't know. I picked out the notes on my guitar and I just can't remember how they went. But that's one of the first notes on it. Wait, wasn't it just a C? Nope. It was a C minor. Then I went to this. Yep. Nope. Something like that, I don't know. Oh, this word chord again. What was it? Nope. Nope. Nope, not that one. It was a weird chord. I remember that for a fact. What was it? This one? No. What was it? Oh my god. Wait. It was a minor of something. I just can't remember what the fuck it was. But yeah, back to Eternally. Eternally is like one of my favorite songs to play on the guitar, and I do have lyrics for it, but I can't sing for shit. Yep. There's no rush or into sea, forever was eternal. But yeah, there's a chord in there that I can't remember for some goddamn reason. Oh, it's the Evanescence chord. Don't cry to me, you love me. You Call Me When You're Sober, I think is the name of the song. Yeah, the one at the beginning. Can't remember what it's called for some reason. Like I said, I was just kind of making it as a MIDI as I went, and the way it was meant to basically be conveyed was like emotion. Whoa. The way it was supposed to be conveyed was like emotion, dread, like loss, like peace, bittersweet, like a bittersweet reunion, basically. Minus the one where it goes dun 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 doo 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 doo. That one was basically straight up like, I'm gonna fuck you up. And I've seen enough like cinematic movies where those things are kind of playing to know exactly what I was going for. Like that was basically like the battle drums. That one's very like repetitive. Like I'm not kidding you. I was just going like, oh, okay, this kind of sounds good. This kind of sounds good. Okay, let's replay that. Oh, that sounds really good. Like I was just literally doing that. That's literally all I was doing on those tracks. Like I was sticking mainly to the key of the original Rainbow Factory because, yeah, I'm like trying to pay tribute to the original because it is part of that storyline, and I don't want to like look like an asshole like trying to steal credit. And the original, see if I remember. See if I even remember. The original chords to the Rainbow Factory were okay. So a G, E. Da, da, da. Yep. Something like that. I don't know. Oh. So. So that would be what? Okay. I don't know, something like that. Da da da. I don't know. Has to go lower than that. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. But I was trying to add like guitar in there and all that stuff, but it just didn't match up right. I remember trying to add in like chords and stuff, but it just wasn't working. Not that advanced of a musician yet. It's something like that. But I was trying to stick around that melody, trying to keep the like chords and all that stuff right on point. Like there's a point where it switches to that. Think about it sound. Ay, ay, ay. Oops, wrong string. There we go. Like, it was all over the place, but I remember, like, ding, 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 ding. Oh, right there. Right there. Mm-mm. Yep. Yep. Trailing that line. That's the right note. I don't know what that one is. It's not an A. God, I had to figure it out too. I just don't remember what it was. It was a weird fucking chord. It was like something like that. Good chord though. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, I've been talking for 2 hours, so I think I'm gonna get off now. I just figured I'd have a little stream, talk to you guys, make sure, just to show you that, you know, I am still making content. I'm not dead. I'm not being lazy. I'm just taking time and allowing myself to recuperate while also working on things, like, slowly. So, if you need any help in Genshin, just shoot me a message, Tsukishima, and I'll try to help you, bud. But you gotta beat whatever quest you're stuck on first, I guess. But thanks for joining me, and yep, I'll hopefully see y'all later. How do I end the stream? Oh, I see. But, yep, I'll see y'all later, and Hopefully some stuff will be coming out soon. Bye-bye. There we go.